of our community's acclaim spreads.
Oh, it's not working, Dusty? That's a sad.
Well then. Looks like my usual mic is not working at the moment.
Oh, hey, you're super quiet.
Yeah.
Check that your input device is actually your microphone and not your, like, webcam.
My usual microphone is not working right now for some reason, no matter where I plug it in.
Alright.
So I'm probably gonna have to troubleshoot that real fast.
Alright, have you turned up all the way.
How's this?
It's still very quiet.
Yeah, alright. One moment.
All right, and we're good.
There you go, that's a lot better volume.
Yes, yes.
Guys, help!
Yeah?
No.
I'm on the ZGF Twitch page, and the header is taking up half the screen. I don't know how to fix it.
Hmm. That's a great question.
What header?
Like your cover photo.
On the Twitch app, it's looking fine to me.
And it's probably me doing something wrong. I just don't know how to fix it.
Dusty, change your icon.
Refresh the page? Question mark?
Never mind, I figured it out. I guess I just had to click the resin symbol again next to live. And it went away? I don't know.
There you go.
I'm making chicken flavored ramen. It's good.
Like right now or before?
It's in the microwave.
Oh.
But I used to hate that flavor because I don't like if you overcook ramen, it gets all slimy because there's no more broth, and I hate it. And every time I would cook chicken ramen when I was younger, it would get slimy, and I kind of associated the two.
That is no good.
But I made it recently again, and I made it right, and it's really good.
Hmm. Interesting.
What I used to do was
Can
when
you
I made
hear?
ramen.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Yep. Was I would boil the noodles separate and then make the broth separate and add them together.
Hmm.
But it's more work these days, so I got too lazy.
Same. I wish I had an experienced Monster Hunter here to geek out about all the awesome stuff I got. Hey, chat, is anyone here an avid Monster Hunter? Specifically World?
What platform?
PS4.
No.
Well, I was gonna talk about Iceborne stuff, so it's gotta be PS4.
I know that I have at least one viewer that has requested not getting spoilers until it comes to PC, so please avoid.
Ah, so never getting spoiled. Never talking about it again, got it. Although I hear it's coming in January.
I have no idea. Oh, it's time to start. I am so not on top of my game tonight. Like, oh my god, guys, I'm just like so not on top of things. Like, oh my god.
It's a good thing it's Dova's game.
There you go.
God damn it, Windows Update! What the hell did you do to my fantasy grounds?
Oh, Power Stone noticed that the Z-Coin thing is inactive.
What Z-Coin thing?
You know how you can hover over the Twitch stream, and there's that little thing where you can click it to spend Z-Coins?
Yes.
He says it's not there.
Well, go down
I'm
into
gonna
the...
go check it.
Go down into the description. Actually, I think I know where that went. I think that probably shares the same extension as the Borderlands 3 Echo Cast.
The blurp soundboards and alert thing.
Oh, go down to the bottom of the screen and you should be able to... Yes, they really suck. I spent 2 hours fixing all of my audio last night, and things still aren't working right, but at least the stuff for D&D should be. Okay, so, to switch it over... They should both be working. Hang on.
While I'm hanging on, I will retrieve the noodles.
Okay. I think it should be fixed now if you refresh the page. Keyword being should.
Gotta say, I'm not a fan of this title.
I'm not either. Okay, anyways, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I
Somewhere in the
will
fantasy
turn it...
grounds. Sorry.
What?
Anyways, I'll just take over. So,
No. I'm turning it over to Mickey. It's always Mickey.
that's it. No, I'm taking control.
Everyone ready for some
No,
ramen?
You done?
Are you done? I'm still talking here. Oh.
Anyways, last session, you guys finished looting a pre-morning battlefield, complete with plenty of spiders, spider people, and just whole lots of fun. Man, and after braving some more of the freezing cold of the after braving more of the freezing cold of the Mournlands, took some shelter, tried to nurse your wounds, and were viciously attacked by DeSoda, who had died previously, and in the quite nefarious magics of the Mournlands, been resurrected.
Curious.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, I muted you, Dusty, because you were making noise.
Ah.
Yep. You fought DeSoda, killed him, and cremated his body. As you all continue out into the Mournlands, and then shortly after leaving there, the weather warmed up slightly, but it still had that fairly chilly nip in the air. And chasing Blue off into the foggy unknown, you eventually came to the site of a wrecked carriage, which turned out to be a gigantic mimic in disguise. You successfully killed the mimic, but after the battle, you found among the bodies of the previous victims, you found the lifeless corpse of Blue, your Warforged companion. And after a bit of examination, Yerk determined that it may be possible to resurrect him given enough dragon shards and enough time. So, it's at about this point that we will pick back up. You guys are currently at the site of the Mimic. And I believe you did loot the site before starting it all on fire.
Yes.
Yes, we found our third spell shard.
Yep. So, what are you guys doing?
Zerth is holding or carrying Blue.
Gonna
He is
kind of shake my
very
head
heavy.
a little bit, like, ugh. Like I've been in a daze for a little bit.
Welcome back to the cut to consciousness.
Oh well, thank you. I feel like
We traded Blue for a spell shard. It wasn't
Things-
great.
not a great trade.
Hmm.
What about Cody?
Also quiet.
No contact.
Has anyone tried taking the spell shard out of Blue?
We did.
Oh, okay.
No good.
It is part of him.
You should remember you were there.
I was drunk. I don't remember.
Very intoxicated.
Very reasonable.
And you sobered up in minutes, of course.
Can I do a perception check?
You're looking for?
Any other evident dangers around us?
Go ahead.
That
Uh,
seems weird.
I'm gonna ask Noon which way we should go to get out of here, considering we were already on our way out.
You cut off on the last second there, Yark.
Considering we were already on our way out.
Well, keen mind, I'm going to figure out which way's west and try to find the path that leads that way.
Well, you're pretty sure that you're north of the path, given that you moved perpendicular off of it. Going back in the previous direction ought to lead you back. So if you were to proceed south, you should get there on correctly.
Was there might be a little bit of an odd thought, but has anyone tried checking under the cart or under the cart mimic to see if it was like trying to hide whatever was originally there before, maybe some items or something?
Blue was there.
Under the cart?
Yeah.
Part of the cart.
He was behind the cart.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
The less we speak of this cart, the better.
It is
It wa-
currently on fire, by the way.
It's not enough on fire.
You can certainly add more oil or any
could.
sort of fuel.
What's the landscape like right now? The environment?
Doom.
Close. Dunes.
Okay, so it's back to sand.
But still very
the
cold.
sand is very cold. Kind of like a desert at night.
And it wasn't the blizzard though.
You know, I think the Moorlands might be getting smarter. They know it knows it can lure us off the track with more spell shards.
So
Oh,
should
great.
we just decide to cut and run with these three?
The Morns are not going anywhere. I say we go back and recuperate. Enough has been lost in these lands.
All right, sounds good. So we left the Moorlands and now we're back at the city.
That's wishful thinking right there.
I'm
That's
pretty
what
sure
we in
that's
the
what
business
happened
call
at
a
the
time
end.
skip.
Yeah, it's what happened at the end of the last session, you know?
I was there.
I don't know about that. I don't think that's how it works.
on, Chad, back us up. That's where we are, right? We're back in the city. Right?
All right, so we start walking.
All right. Which way are you going?
Oh, never mind.
Back toward the path.
Yeah, first we're getting back on the path and then following it west.
All right.
See? Eisen knows where we are. We're back in this town. Don't you remember, Dova?
I do not. As you start to head back the way you came, very careful to just keep continually going on this straight path. You soon lose track of your footprints as they are blended back into the natural sands by a wind that's been slowly creeping up. And by the time that the footprints disappear, the wind has become kind of a stiff breeze, blowing this very thin layer of sand down just below your ankles. The cold little granules of sand bouncing off of your skin. And there's this kind of continuous, coarse, shifting sound as the sand gets blown across the ground. But after about 10 minutes of walking, you figure you should have found the trail by now. But you're not finding it.
Aren't there those markers on
There
the side
are.
of the trail?
It's not something you're seeing.
And did those show up magically or not? I forget.
They did, actually.
We sort of wandered off the path when we were following Blue's trail.
Oh, well,
Probably not the brightest idea.
Well, we had to find him.
didn't seem to work out.
Yerk's gonna put his hands on his hips and say, "Well, that hardly seems fair."
Guys, keep a lookout while I ritual cast detect magic.
I'll join him just so we have two eyes, two eyes, two sets of eyes.
2 sets of eyes.
Zeno will keep an eye out.
All right.
Zeno will keep an eye out. His bow ready. He's had
All right.
enough of this place.
Dusty is gonna have himself a seat.
All right. Everybody go ahead and give me perception checks.
Oh, hot damn.
Hey, some of us are starting off strong for one. Nah, never mind.
Dusty, go ahead and give me a perception check. Dusty? Oh, he's not even in the game yet. I'll just go ahead and roll for him.
If it's listening, you needs advantage.
Mm-hmm. All right. Zerth and Yark. Inun, you seem to be a bit too preoccupied with your ritual casting to really notice this. But the wind is slowly starting to get a bit stronger, a little bit kind of uneven. It'll blow fairly steadily for a few moments, then a tiny little gust will come along and it kind of settles back down. But it is getting stronger. Zerth, you gain this kind of feeling in your gut that it feels like a storm is brewing. And
What'd I
you've
miss?
never really been in a big Mornland storm yet.
Oh, a storm.
He's going to stop mid-step, tilt his snoot up into the air,
Don't
take a deep
teach
breath.
my hamster to suck
Alright.
eggs.
And just mutter, we should probably get shelter or pick up the pace. I have a feeling a storm's coming, and judging by what the weather's been like, don't really want to be out here when that happens.
Ah, jeez.
Does it seem like it's getting stronger by the minute or like by the second? Or just like super gradual?
It seems fairly gradual, but definitely faster than what you would normally experience in the normal wilds.
How much longer are ritual casts?
It's at about this point that he'd finish up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I guess we both start looking around for the pylons.
All right. Looking around, you're not seeing anything really. But you are noticing that there is a few bits of residual magic coming from Blue.
So that's a good sign.
It's very faint. I need to check what school something is.
Did we ever get anywhere near Calazart?
I don't think so.
What do you think would happen if I shove key points in that?
Direction is very difficult in the Mornland.
I mean, judging by our latest adventures, we could have been right next to it and never have known. I blame
me
the
see.
the spooky beef jerky.
That was not a great time.
I don't know, the spooky beef jerky feels like it was a localized event just caused by the general madness of this place.
Yeah, but after we encountered that, everything kind of hit the fan.
I don't know, I feel
My
like things are slowly hitting
insides
the fan the whole
hurt.
time. Well, you did get your blood
My
sucked by a tree
blood
a couple days ago.
hurts.
Yes, and then I got smashed into the ground.
Adova, we
Our
do
part-
have influence.
I saw that. Give me a moment to figure out the spell first.
Our
Oh,
party looks like
joy.
mincemeat at this point.
Funny thing is, Sinnoh was fine up until, DeSoda.
Until he lost half his class.
Finn's doing just fine.
I swear, I don't think
Alright.
there's been a single game where a ranger had an animal companion and it went well.
I can vouch for this.
Like, they were doing like this artificer style ranger in one of my games, and he had this robotic bear, and he couldn't get in and out through all these caves we were adventuring through, so he just had to leave him behind.
So, the magic that you're detecting from Blue's body is abjuration magic. So, some sort of durability or protection from something.
So he might just be in some kind of like hibernation mode or
Something of
power
that
mode?
sort. You're not quite sure. But as you are sort of looking at and examining it further, you see the magic flare up suddenly and kind of die back down. If it were a shield, like abjuration magic tends to be, it looked like something just bounced off of it.
Hmm.
And you're not sure what.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So, is there anything around Tozarth? Can you see anything in the distance with your eyes? Any other
With
kind
your-
of caves or structures?
With your special eye.
My special brand. With that perception check, or would I have to roll another one?
Go ahead and roll another one.
Sinel just needs to load up Broken Steel, so when he gets DeSoto back, it can just take down Elder Dragons without taking any damage.
Oof. I wonder what would
Alright,
happen
so.
if I let out my slime and told it to find something to eat.
All right, so let me see.
And so I guess Inud and I are still looking for any signs of magical trail mapping
Hmm.
while still going in this direction, I guess.
Yark, go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
My favorite. So I was almost worried you wouldn't ask for one of those this session.
You can voluntarily fail it, by the way.
Well, I don't need to.
All right. So, I believe Yark and Sinel, or sorry, Inun, you both have detect magic up right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking through them with my special goggles.
All right. You notice out of the corner of your eye, hovering just above Yark's shoulder, is a small little orb, about the size of like a tangerine.
Someone's scrying on us?
That is radiating the telltale color of divination magic.
Psst. Do you have dispel magic?
I've counterspell.
No.
it.
Uh, can I pretend I didn't see it?
Go ahead and give me a performance check or a deception check. Depends on how you were going to. Are you just going to act natural?
Yeah, act natural.
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
I mean, I guess they're both the same, so. Hey, that's better than I expected it to be.
All right. It seems to be remaining in place.
All right, well, we'll keep walking, I guess. I'll try to keep a side eye on it in case anything starts to happen.
You
I'll keep it in
kind
my,
of.
I keep it in
You
my
keep it in your
peripheral.
peripheral vision. All right.
My peripherals.
It takes about a minute after you turn around and look at it originally. It blinks out of existence.
Interesting.
And only Inun and Yark would have seen that.
And we find absolutely nothing about the way back.
No. Fortunately, you're
Did-
really not able to find anything.
Did you want me to roll for a noon to see it? Because only.
You would have definitely seen it.
Okay.
Ooh, why don't you still have some of that special alcohol?
Yeah, I'll drink the ghost sight.
All right. You take a swig of the. It's kind of changed flavors by now. It kind of tastes like very flat Dr. Pepper. It's kind of nice.
Of all the flat sodas, Dr. Pepper certainly isn't the worst.
That's true. Isn't hot Dr. Pepper a thing?
If I recall
It-
correctly,
Okay.
different colas were invented around different times, some of which before commercial refrigerators were a thing. So, like, some were meant to be enjoyed warmer than others.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember which is which, though.
As you look across, as the fog kind of fades from your vision, you look across the landscape and you realize that you are in a vast desert. From horizon to horizon, nothing but these very calm, sweeping dunes. And the sand itself isn't really the normal kind of beige color of sand. It's this kind of a grayish, a dark brown, very dirty sand, as opposed to kind of the clean white granules that a beach or a sun-bleached desert might have. And as you look up a little bit, you do notice a quite disconcerting gathering of clouds, kind of far away. You're not sure exactly where the sun is either, so you're really not able to tell direction or really where you are at all. You can probably still go by your internal sense of direction, but who knows how long that's had time to drift.
Based on the magnetic field.
Which could have definitely changed in here.
Alright, so at this point, Anoon's just gonna look for any kind of landmark to try finding some kind of bearing.
Go ahead and give me a survival check. You think you recognize that you're kind of on a very small downslope, and you figure if you go down the slope, you might end up back on the trail. But that's going in the direction opposite that you remember the trail being.
It's the Mournlands. Everything's
also-
different.
Yeah, I also know that this landscape can shift, so I'm gonna go with my gut on this.
All right.
I'll let the rest of the party know, and I'll take point.
All right.
All right, but if we die, I'm blaming you.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, I'll bring it back.
The winds continue to pick up speed and intensity as you continue onwards. Your feet starting to sink into the sands very slightly. Every once in a while, you come across remnants of society. You see a lamppost, a piece of a fence line, the foundations and chimney from a cottage that's long since rotted away, just to the stones of the basically just the stones of the foundation left, poking up just above the sands. And you come across some skeletons, inert. The bones picked clean by whatever scavengers live in these lands, but this particular area is incredibly devoid of any sort of life. It's very quiet. Aside from the noise of your feet kind of digging into the shifting sands, it's hard to hear anything. There's really no beasts crying out in the very distant landscape. There's no insects. There's just the sound of the wind in your footsteps. I'd like everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw.
My favorite.
Hey.
Well, it's not too
Somehow.
bad.
Oh, my rolls are bad today.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
All right, so Dusty and Sinnel, you both gain a point of exhaustion as the continuous travels through the rather frigid air starts to tear away at your endurance. Otherwise, there's really nothing to find here. But the wind is getting fairly strong at this point, and you find at times that the sand whipped up by the endless gusts are starting to get in your eyes, and you have to bring up your hand to just cover your eyes from the sand getting in. And looking up every so often, you notice that the sky is getting a little bit darker. And at about this time, all of you realize that there's definitely a storm on the way.
Trust the gator.
Noon's gonna take advantage of the resources laying about.
All right.
We are down 2 party members, so he's gonna raise a skeleton.
All right.
Do
Are there
I
any
see any?
checks associated with the save?
What's up?
Or sorry, are there any checks associated with the spell?
No.
All right. Could you just post it in chat real quick so I... All right. You kind of crouch down next to one of these small gatherings of the picked clean bones. They're not bleached, but most of the meat has been kind of picked off. Where do you get the piece of flesh and the bit of blood for the components? And technically, it's not consumed, so if you are using a spell focus, you can use that. If you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Oh, I think I pressed it the wrong way. Yeah, I have my wand.
All right.
figuring.
You very slowly wave your wand in just the right pattern. Say a lengthy passage out of a book whose words you don't quite remember, but they just kind of come to mind as you command this this pile of remains to become your servant.
I mean, I have the manual of necromancy that I got a while back.
That would. It's more. The words really aren't written down in a way, but they kind of just come out from your soul as you begin to speak them. Your voice just kind of carries you along. As very slowly but steadily the pile of bones, kind of half buried in the sand, slowly rises up. Sand just trailing down its various kind of sinewy bones until it it kind of has a little bit of a slump as it stands up before you, a little tiny little motes of light, of green flame, dancing in the eye sockets. It digs around in the sand near its feet before pulling out a very crude-looking spear. Basically, a long, maybe a scythe handle with just a bit of pointy metal on the end. Let me.
Rise, Gaster.
You settle down, okay?
My problem is I always thought summoning my first undead in this would be epic, but I can't do it in combat because it takes a freaking minute.
Yeah, it's.
So, and right now we're kind of all at the edge of our lives, and we're down 2 members, and we need help.
Yeah, everything's kind of
So,
messed up.
I'm gonna raise something.
All right.
Doing my best to try raising a family.
You do this in view of everybody, don't
Oh yeah.
you? Zerth gives you the look of he's glaring at you, and oh, me and you are gonna have some words later.
By the way, Zerth, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Con save.
Settle's
Alright.
just kind of in a daze after losing DeSoto and then having him raised again and stuff, so he just doesn't really care about that.
The rest of the party knows how Zerth feels about undead after
Zerth?
that cave incident.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Zerth and Anun have already talked about this before, but I guess that was before the cave.
Yeah,
Or with the-
well,
with the
yeah,
bacon?
no, with DeSoto coming back to life.
Oh. Yeah.
He's not gonna say anything. It's just like we're in a. That's gonna be put on the back burner for now. We're gonna address the violent storm and what's coming up right now.
All right.
He knows when there's a time and a place for things, and right now it's not the time nor the place. Because they've talked about it, but he's never actually seen you do it.
I've got this thing for 24 hours, so Anun is assuming that it'll be there when the time comes.
Alright, cool. We have a bone buddy.
Not sure if you are aware, but to keep it going, you have to cast that again after 24 hours.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Alright, so what now?
Do you keep going?
We got our bone buddy. I guess we keep walking.
All right.
I'm actively trying to look for shelter for us right now.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. It's really nothing but dunes out here. You haven't really seen any sort of solid geography in a very long time. It's only been about a day, but you know, compared to when you started, you haven't seen anything really solid.
Yeah.
And it's said about this point, you've been going for about 3-4 hours, as the winds pick up even more. The sands kind of flying up and in your face is now a constant stream, and it seems to be maybe an hour until you are in the thick of it.
If we don't find a place to hold down, we'll look around. I don't see any. We're going to be caught in storm.
We're all actively looking, so it's gotta keep going until we find something. Fortunately, we can't dig here. It's just sand.
The storm continues to grow as above you, the kind of dim gloominess that the Mournlands provide dims down even further until it's very, very dark. Almost the few minutes of light left before the sun dips below the horizon. As the winds around you literally howl, you hear amongst the blasting winds and um, um, the coarse, irritating sand. Don't meme that. I hate. I know where you want to go with that. Shut up. But the abrasive sand as it whips around, being brought up by the winds, cut into your eyes. They cut into your fur, and you feel the very just a constant stream of little stinging impacts as they slam against your eyelids, and some of them make it through your eyelashes and into your nose, and it's just kind of a terrible experience. But as you continue onwards, you see a shape out in the darkness, Zerth. Continuing towards it, you see that it is kind of similar to a few hours before a ruined, kind of dilapidated foundation from a building that's long since rotted away. But there is kind of a waist-high wall where the foundation used to be. It's probably the best shelter that you're going to find for a long ways. And looking at it, getting closer, you notice that it is kind of acting as a small windbreak on one side of the wall.
I'm gonna readjust Blue as I'm carrying him and just motion with my snoot towards it. I think I found partial shelter. It's better than nothing right now, as he starts marching in that direction.
Nobody can hear what he said.
I'm gonna be holding his tail for guidance, or else I might lose him and everyone else.
All right. And you guys are. You guys would.
Go
Sorry.
sight so I can see everything clearly.
All right. You're barely able to open your eyes, but you can see a little bit through the fog, and you can see a little bit further. But the wind and the sand in this proper sandstorm are not really. You can't really see through too much more of it with the ghost sight. I mean, you don't see any ghosts, so
That's a positive.
there you go.
Zerth had assumed everybody heard him anyway. He didn't realize nobody heard him, so he's just walking towards that way.
All right.
It's just following behind him.
So, you want to take shelter, just kind of in the small windbreak that the waist-high wall gives?
Yeah, as best as we
Alright.
can.
Well,
So you
alright
said it
then.
was like the foundation to something?
Yes. It's about 40 to 50 feet on one side, and then you see kind of a bit of a corner as it hits one of the corners of the building, and then the second wall is only about 10 to 15 feet before the wall kind of crumbles down, and there's really nothing else remaining above the sands.
Anoon wants to, once we get there, Anoon wants to, once we're on the foundation, try to sweep away some of the sand to see if he can find like a hatch to a basement.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. and due to the rather extreme circumstances with disadvantage. It seems that either this building, whatever it was, either did not have a basement, or you're really not able to get down in the sand deep enough, as it keeps kind of refilling itself. The hole that you're digging, at least.
All right.
I'm gonna prop Blue up against the wall.
All right.
And just kind of sit down.
Kind of thuds against the stonework. The sand kind of pinging and scraping off of his metal skeleton. The skeleton, by the way, every once in a while makes a very peculiar whistling noise as the wind passes through him.
Awesome.
Yeah, as we're taking shelter behind this wall, I'm gonna have the skeleton just kind of stand there and look around as much as it can.
All right.
To get
It
my
kind of
scanning
periodically
size.
looks around, just kind of scanning the immediate area. And at a certain point, when its head's facing a certain direction, that whistling does kind of become a little bit louder.
That's interesting and unsettling at the same time.
Well, we
Can
don't
everyone
have a
give
bard.
me
It's as close as we get.
Can everyone give me a perception check? As you all start to take shelter. And for most of you, that means lying down in the leeward side of this waist-high
Hey,
wall.
I finally rolled well.
This is based on
And
hearing,
everybody
so
else
Dusty,
did.
you can roll again.
I love how my roll didn't show up in chat and it was a 17.
Nice.
You mean just re-roll it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So-
I'll take it.
Skeleton did better than me.
Sinal Yark, Dusty. So Sinal Yark and Dusty. In the whistling winds, you can hear very faintly the sounds of humanoid shrieking and crying. As somewhere inside the storm, honestly sounds like there are a cacophony of trapped souls off in the distance. It's not right next to you, but you can hear it all around you, very quietly. And it's kind of masked by the sound of the wind from the storm. Sorry if I wasn't too descriptive with that. I had a brain fart.
Spooky noises in the wind noise. I said it's essentially spooky noises in the wind noise.
Yeah, basically. All right, so you're currently taking shelter from the sandstorm. What do you do?
Is there a certain direction this wind is blowing from?
From Inun's perception, it would be blowing from the south. But you're probably not aware of which way is which.
Yeah. I was thinking like we could probably make like a makeshift like cover using the back of the wall with parts of that like camping supplies, tent, whatever we have to block some of the sand.
Now that the
Unfortunately, I don't have very much cover.
and a lot of the cover we did use, we just started like wearing.
Mm.
Now that we're actually in the sandstorm, how like bad? How good is our cover? Is what I'm asking.
It's not very good. Um, the wind is mostly coming from one side, but every so often you'll have a gust of wind that kind of scours out the little clean space that you've got on this wall. But for the most part, it is blocking the wind.
That's good. Hmm. I'm gonna try to make some food because we need
All
to
right.
eat.
As you open up your bag and start to search through your ingredients, a lot of your food is rotten. A
Yeah, I
lot.
expected that one. Did you already like take it out of my inventory or something?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, do I still have enough to keep everyone fed for a day?
If everyone eats very lightly, yeah.
As long as that's
Um,
enough.
and yeah, everyone go ahead and check your inventories for the amount of food that you actually have.
Looks like all of it was taken.
What's food?
Rations.
No, that's what I meant. I have 0.
I have none as well.
Fun.
All right. And
Oh yeah, I should probably check mine considering I have.
Hey,
Oh,
Dova,
I have
Yeah?
3.
how long has it been since we had that incident in the cart to where we are now? Like,
It's
how long
about
have we been?
about 5 hours.
5 hours? Okay, thank you.
So yeah, you can go ahead and try to make a rather thin soup, Yark, or whatever you'd like to create. Do you have any wood to make a cooking fire?
We have the create bonfire, don't we? Doesn't that just make a bonfire? Do we have to have something to burn with?
It would make a bonfire, but you need to keep concentrating on it. But yeah, that'd be all right.
Also, it's a new doing the bonfire.
Yeah.
So
It wouldn't be like a cast it once and it stays for the whole night. It's just I think it's 6 seconds at a time. Go ahead and roll that again, since you would have disadvantage.
okay,
You're having to fight pretty hard to keep the sand out.
still not bad.
So, very carefully and very methodically, you're able to create a rather thin, kind of like a porridge, with the remnants of your last 3 ration packs, and it would be able to feed everyone fully.
Awesome.
But even as you dig around your pack quite frantically, you aren't able to find any more food that is edible.
Well, good news, guys. We have to make it. Good news, guys. We're out of food. That means we're probably almost out.
There's a blank look on Zer's face as you can probably see him trying to hold the shaking back.
The Noon has a sack full of mushrooms that grow from here, so they shouldn't be spoiled, but he's not sure if they're poisonous or not.
Mm-hmm.
Get away
The mushrooms
identifying
themselves
them.
seem to be fine.
It's the spores that are poisonous.
Ah, you looked at them wrong. That is the invasion vector. So, the soup is fairly filling, but you guys would all understand that it is not a quite full meal. However, it's enough that should you be able to get some rest tonight, then you would be able to have your long rest. So,
I'll take first watch.
all right, you'll take first watch.
I'm back again. What happened?
We were taking shelter from a sandstorm.
Okay.
When did you leave?
As soon as we all rolled that perception roll and you told me to roll again, then I was called away by my background noise again.
Gotcha. Basically, the storm is full of the sounds of screaming humanoids. So, really fun.
It's a lovely place.
Oh, a lovely place.
I may get a timeshare, a summer home here.
Oh, I think it's trying to apologize. What a lovely concert.
Hear dead screams in the background. Oh, it's so sweet.
I wonder
Alright.
if I can eat those.
So, we've got first watch with Zerth. Need at least 2 more watches.
Sinnoh will take the last.
All right.
Who else has good perception?
I
guess I'll
have
take-
okay perception.
I guess I'll take the second to last then.
All right. Is that
I'll
available?
take a watch.
First, second, or third watch?
Well, last, I guess.
All right. Everybody give me a constitution check as you attempt to rest up in the violent, abrasive storm.
Noon's going to sleep in his bedroll and put his robe over his head to block the casting him.
What's the problem, guys? It's so good.
What's your modifier for your checks versus your saves, Sinnoh? Are they the same thing? Because you rolled a Constitution save both times. Also, Dusty,
Oh,
it's a check.
well,
Not a save.
modifier's the same. Sorry.
All right. And I'll go ahead and just look at Sinnoh's sheet and determine if it's going to be the same. So count as +2. Yeah, it will be the same. All right, so everyone. Hold on, I gotta check to see who failed that first one because nobody wrote down who had exhaustion from that.
Oh, I had exhaustion,
All right.
or one level of it.
Yep, so that would be 1, 2, 3. So, Yark,
Yes.
you would not be able to gain the benefits of a long rest from this.
Yeah, I figured.
For the rest of you, actually, Dusty, you would get a long rest.
Yay.
Along with Sinnoh and Zerth. Inun, you would gain the benefit of a short rest. But Yark, you got enough rest that it really wouldn't inflict any sort of exhaustion on you. But you don't feel any better than when you went to when you laid down.
Goodbye, exhaustion.
Long rest, we get all our hit dice back, don't we?
Half of your hit dice.
Half of the hit dice. Okay.
And your spell slots, if when applicable.
Do not know how to modify that.
I think you just drag the dice to your hit dice slot.
Oh, to change how many hit dice you have, you click the magnifying glass off to the right of your class and level field.
Mm-hmm.
And then where it says used, you just change that as needed.
Not a whole lot to do while waiting at the sandstorm as he, runs his fingers through the sand.
It's
Yeah.
it's half rounded up or down.
I think everything's rounded down unless noted otherwise.
Cool. I got 4 out of 5 hit dice right now. Almost up to full. Victory Gators victorious. But I get my spell slots back. So thank freaking my goddess or whatever. It's been a long day.
So, Yark, give me another wisdom saving throw.
Yes, bird. I wonder if I should fail this. I mean, I got a 5 earlier, so I highly doubt the DC is... Oh, that's too many dice. There you go.
I closed down the spell thing. Whoops. All right. All right, you feel nothing.
Alright, well, I'm gonna pretend that's good.
All right, yeah, you pretend like things are going all right.
Sweet.
As roughly a full night passes, you aren't really sure. You're all kind of awake, a little bit restless after finishing your kind of light, fruitless nap. The storm is still going quite heavily. You're starting to feel a little bit hungry. So, what do you guys do?
I would say we would probably, Zer's idea to, get a moving on as soon as we can. The quicker we get out of this
Yeah.
blast from this place, the better.
Yeah, we gotta get out of this place ASAP.
All right. So, you start heading out.
Sounds like it.
All right. All right. So, according to the rules, you guys can last a number of days without food equal to 3 plus or minus your Constitution modifier.
Plus or
That
minus?
does not. That makes sense for me.
Depends on if your Constitution modifier is positive or negative.
Okay.
So 3 plus con.
By the way, how much water do you guys have?
Let's see. I have 2 of milk or 1 of milk, 2 of water. Of water skins.
All right.
I think I would be completely out at this point. Because I drink a lot. I don't need to eat a lot, but I drink a lot.
It's true, you are from the water.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 water skins for some reason, but I
That's
don't
good.
know how much I drink usually.
We're probably all out.
Yeah. At this
Uh-huh.
point, you guys have not had access to any potable water in a pretty decent time. In addition to feeling hungry, you're feeling quite thirsty. I know somebody has some sealed up beers. I know that's technically water.
It's drinkable.
Sinnel
Yes.
will break them out and share.
Reluctantly.
All right.
So apprehensive, like, well, I guess we could survive, but I really don't want to. Not if I'm sharing this fine beverage.
Hey, Dova, based on my background in brewing, how good is this drink?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check, just to appraise everything, every little bit of it.
Okay. I did it. I don't know why it rolled twice. I only drank it once. But
All
okay.
right. Well,
I might,
it's a pretty unusual brew. You're used to fairly thick, kind of simple, like ales, drafts, with often with quite a few spices added. Bits of honey, a little sugar, maybe some lemon added to each of these brews. But this one's very simple, and it's much more active, much more kind of carbonated. And the glass bottles it comes in are really high quality. And just kind of, it seems fairly nice, but very light. Definitely compared to some of the rather low quality ales that are present at many taverns.
Okay. I drink it somewhat reluctantly because alcohol always reminds me of work.
It seems opposite to a lot of places. All right. So, As you continue onwards in the snowstorm, or sorry, in the sandstorm, your throats protected a little bit from the parching lack of moisture in the air. You start to travel onwards. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Everyone?
We'll go everyone.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Ooh, it's pretty bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now, I'm pretty sure that this doesn't apply because I've got the feeling this is a magical means, but technically our group cannot get lost except by magical means.
Yeah, this is a magical means.
Figured.
Yeah.
Was worth a shot.
I mean, that's fair. So, you all continue onwards. By about midday, you think you're starting to feel quite thirsty again. Seems that one drink was not enough to keep you going for a full day. And as you continue on, you traveling over these almost endless dunes, deep in the midst of this violent, raging sandstorm. You're slowly adapting. You're making shrouds out of spare pieces of cloth as the weather is starting to warm up. At this point, it would be about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so not too far off from a brisk fall day. The skeleton is still going strong, whistling quite loudly at times from the wind passing through it. But things are starting to get tough. You're starting to become tired, your limbs are becoming heavy, and a bit of a frightening revelation is that after about 5 hours, you start to come across a set of tracks, heading in roughly the same direction as you. But you seem to be a little ways behind. Also, the winds seem to be getting stronger now.
Do these tracks look familiar?
Go ahead and give me a survival check.
You know, I think I need to pick up the kobold.
What else would it be?
I'm looking very closely at the tracks. They indeed seem to be from your group.
That noise is exactly what Jirth does. He just stops and just hisses as loud as he can in anger and frustration to the sky. Unacceptable!
We're all feeling that.
Yeah.
As he starts saying some select words in a language that I shall not repeat.
Can Dusty understand these words?
I'm not
That's a
sure.
great question.
He's screaming it in Gator.
Let's check. Dusty is not familiar with these words. Dusty's not.
Very naughty words.
He doesn't speak Gator a lot.
I can kind of understand him, but it's a weird dialect.
Yeah. We don't.
understand
Sorry.
you.
Your accent.
As you start to near the end of your first day of travel without any food and water, your throats are feeling incredibly scratchy. You're feeling slightly lightheaded, and the temperature is slowly rising as it hits about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll say that you do manage to find another very sparse piece of shelter. This time as the corpse of a tree. The kind of root system providing a much better shelter than the previous night, actually. The underside of the root structure having been kind of hollowed out by the continually whipping winds. After a bit of investigation, you guys would definitely still be wary about mimics. After a bit of investigation, it does not seem to be a mimic, and does
Zerf
not
kicks
attack
it.
you.
He just kicks it. Nothing happens. Hey, we're good, guys.
All right. For the night, could I please get a watch rotation, please?
Zerf takes
first.
first slot. You take first, I'll take second then.
I'll take one.
Sin'll takes last.
Be assert
Alright.
command of the skeleton.
So skeleton will continue to watch, right?
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you're keeping track of the spell slots required to keep it under your control.
I can get a short rest in. I keep getting 3rd level spell slots back.
All right. So. At the end of the day, as you're settling down, you all suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh,
Since you lack the
Water.
minimum. Yeah. Make sure to mark that down in your effects section on the combat
Effect.
track.
Oh, combat tracker.
Yep. Just add a custom effect that says exhaustion, and then however many levels you have, which is 1.
That's when you hit the little head, isn't it?
Yep.
I clicked ahead. I don't know how to add.
We can't actually add effects like that.
Oh. I clicked the head, but it puts a head down there.
How did I do that?
Clicking the head adds a head in the head spot.
Do you see it?
All right, I can take care of it. All right, so you go and try to get some rest. Very thirsty and very hungry. So, what's the watch schedule?
I believe I went 3rd.
Yeah, it's a noon first, Zerf second, Dusty is 3rd, and I think Sino is last.
All right.
What did you call me?
Sino? I don't know.
Senile.
Oof. Sin, go ahead and give me a perception check. Since it is a skill check and you have 1 point of exhaustion, this will be a disadvantage.
Do you want perception?
Yep. All right. It's hard to see really anything during the sandstorm, but you still continue to hear those kind of faint whispers and howls on the wind. Actually. All right. So Inun.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't actually speak. What's this intelligence? 6? All right. As you slowly wake up, Inun, you see your skeleton point out with a spear towards a ridgeline. As it takes a very lightly defensive stance, keeping a watch out towards that area.
Time is it?
About the end of your guys' rest period.
Oh, okay. I'm going to make sure everyone gets up and then pop a ghost sight.
All right. Doesn't really help much to see into the sandstorm. But go ahead and give me another perception check. Actually, I don't think you rolled one before, so go ahead and give me a perception check. Can't really see what he's pointing at. If there is anything out there at all.
There is. Watching in the general area.
All right. So, the rest of you are awoken by Anu. Not feeling much better than when you guys went to sleep.
I hit angrily.
All right.
I just squint with pure hatred right now.
So, what do you guys do today?
Contemplate my life decisions right now.
You know, I wonder what happens if I throw out an echolocation in a sandstorm.
Get absorbed by the shifting sands.
Awesome.
It's like shooting into a tsunami.
I lost the bullet, but I better hit something.
Ian's gonna suggest going to where the skeleton's pointing at.
All right. It's a small ridgeline which appears to be, according to your internal direction finding, towards the north.
You know, it's the best lead we got. So let's do it.
Really what I'm going off of. It's something. Not absolutely nothing of us just walking, so. Might as well try it.
All right. So, proceeding off in that direction, coming up on the ridgeline, you don't notice anything in particular.
But
you do notice on the ground there appears to be a set of indentations, which were footprints before the sands kind of shifted and partly covered them. It's hard to tell exactly what or how many of them there were.
Any other? There's like a trail of footprints?
It seems to be a trail, yeah.
Alright, let's follow it.
All right. Following the trail, go ahead and give me a survival check, and this will be with disadvantage since you do have a level of exhaustion. So, the tracks themselves, as you continue onwards, are not too hard to follow. Not before long, you notice that there's actually another set of tracks that slowly kind of diverge or converge with this set of tracks. And then continuing on, there's another. There's another. And eventually you're led by this steadily growing, um, almost like a trail of tracks. You can't tell how many things made this trail, but it looks like there could have been hundreds of individuals, almost like the path of an army.
Are
Like I
these those
said,
people that die to the spider things?
seems like the sand should have blown it away, but like I said, I'm letting the skeleton lead because it kind of seems to know what's going on or has some kind of better sense of the area.
It is
Alright.
undead.
As it continues onward, everybody go ahead and give me a perception check. And this can be hearing.
Oh, neat.
Hey guys, are we out of the Mournlands yet?
No.
Are we there yet? No.
And
Oh,
Dusty,
no.
that would just be a neutral check, since
Oh.
you have disadvantage.
Right.
Like neither of my dice can even roll over 10.
Why
Yeah.
did mine not go with disadvantage?
Damn, man.
Okay, there you go.
That's the second one I've rolled today.
All right, Zerth. You're the only. Actually, no. Yark and Zerth. You're the only one who managed to get a glimpse of this through the howling sandstorm. But in the basin of one of these large sand dunes, you see like kind of a dark shape, kind of like a blob. And as you kind of look down, you think, "Wow, this is the kind of this little basin, this kind of bowl in the dunes. Kind of looks like it's maybe a little bit rocky, like there's a bunch of ruins in the bottom. But as you look closer, the ruins and the little rocks begin to move very slowly and subtly. And as you guys continue to get a little bit closer and try to peer through the sands, at about this point, Inun, you get an intense sensation of necromantic energies just emanating from in front of you.
Alright guys, be careful. We have necromancy around here, and I'm not talking about Gaster.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is yet, but I can feel it. It's probably where Milton was leading us.
I'm gonna ready an action.
All right. What's the action?
I'm gonna ready a cantrip, Word of Radiance, if these things make any type of aggressive movements.
All right.
I'll hold a firebolt, aim it at them. My little arm
Very
cannon.
well. As you continue to get closer and closer, the kind of rubble or the rocks or whatever this dark shape was continues to get larger and larger as your sense of scale slowly adjusts to realize that if it is undead, then this group in front of you stretches at least 100 feet wide on each side, maybe 150. It's very large. And you can start to hear over the moaning wails of the winds and the sands these very quiet groans, the very kind of dry, the cries of. It's hard to tell exactly what emotion it's trying to convey, but it's harsh, it's raspy, and it's not really any sort of word. It's just kind of an exclamation.
Do we know if they see us?
Whatever they are, they don't seem to see you yet.
You have returned.
Thank you very much for that resub there, Power Stone.
Zero's just gonna look around and just say, "Are we tired of this place?"
Very
I
much
am.
so.
He's gonna get up and just walk towards the group and just yell, "Are you gonna fight or are you gonna talk? I'm tired of this. It's been a long day. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty."
The clamoring of the large crowd just down the side of the dunes stops. You see the groups start to shift.
If you're
And
going,
all at once, all of a sudden, the horde of undead, zombies, skeletons, ghouls, even, charge at you. Hundreds. of
they're just gonna say, "Oh, good, short, sweet, to the point." Well, you know what? I hate this.
Everybody,
place.
go ahead
This
and roll initiative.
sucks.
Yeah,
Screw you
TPK
all.
gets us out of the
Unless you
normal-
all are running. so
Everything is awful.
running is an option here.
How many are there?
The last thing we want to
Hundreds.
do is just walk more.
That is quite the number of them.
We should probably just run.
We're gonna fall over in like 20 minutes, so and they're gonna kill us anyways.
You know, that's a good point. And we're out in flatlands, right?
Dunes.
Dunes.
So there's
No walls anywhere.
not really.
What do they have? Just bones?
Some of them are carrying weapons which actually look very well maintained.
Ooh.
Oh, undead.
They don't look. Well, they don't look. They're well maintained in the fact that they're not corroded. And a lot of their clothing, in fact, looks very clean and not tattered. About
This
half
is
of them,
very
anyways.
strange.
The rest of them look like your normal zombies and skeletons with very patchwork clothing. The skeletons carrying very rusted and broken weapons.
I can carry one person. Yark, would you like a lift?
I'm gonna check my
So
spells.
has everybody rolled initiative? I'm
Yes.
gonna reset it and
Yes. Since we're deciding running sounds great, actually.
all right. That is stop rolling initiative, guys. I need to reset it. All right.
You will not-
Will
So if you rolled initiative before, you can go ahead and just re-add it manually.
Oh,
He cannot re-add it. You have to do that.
Son of a gun. 12, 18. Blue does not roll initiative for obvious reasons.
Zero's just tired of all this lands playing mind tricks. He's sort of relieved that it just kind of like it came out there and it was very obvious.
Oh, cool. The skeleton rolled a 3 for his initiative. Very
Solid
cool.
way. I guess not.
And finally, all right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a number next to their name for how many there are. Actually, their H. No, you can't see their HP.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
And all right. So
Is
the
this
number next
mass
to their
combat? Is this?
name, kind of. But we're gonna use simplified combat rules because these are all kind of grunts basically. So they're all going to have basically 1 HP.
Neat.
All right. So
That's a lot of skeletons. That's a lot of
it's
skeletons.
going to be the. Actually, you guys had prepared actions, so you guys get to do that first.
Firebolt.
All right. Go ahead and roll to attack.
So
Which we'll go ahead and just say that hits. It's very hard to miss.
okay, well, I'm wondering which one I like. Do
Go
I
ahead
attack
and roll a
pool
1d3.
23? Okay. Wait. Alright. A 4 is a reroll then.
You got 3, so you hit one of the skeletons. Actually, you'd probably hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Just right on the skeletons?
No, in the box.
Okay.
All right. You'd probably hit 2 of them. So now there are about 162 skeletons left.
How close did I get to him?
You're about 60 feet away from them.
Oh,
As the it's probably more like 100 feet. As the ghouls are going to use their movement and their dash to run at you.
because I prepared Word of Radiance, but I didn't realize it was a 5-foot range.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's not gonna work. I mean, it'd be
No.
great,
Mm.
but for some reason I kept thinking it was like a 30-foot
Yeah.
range. I'm like, that's
Alright. The ghouls are now. They're about 40 feet away from Zerth.
Zeno will let loose with his bow, shooting at him.
Alright. Yeah, you're not really gonna miss. But yeah, you can definitely go specifically for one of the ghouls. Go ahead and roll damage.
In the chat?
Yeah, in the chat. Alright, that'd probably be enough to kill one of them. As one of your arrows streaks through the air and slams into the neck of one of the ghouls, it kind of grabs at it and twitches before collapsing to the ground.
Alright. Seeing how much damage my firebolt did, I kind of think to myself, for now, this isn't just going as bad as I originally thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
And this might be fun. And he snaps his fingers and casts Shatter on the skeletons, like right in their midst.
What's the range on that?
That's what I was planning on doing. It's
It's
60
a great,
feet.
it's a great idea.
60 feet would be in range for the ghouls, but not the skeletons. Skeletons are
Oh.
about 120 feet away from you.
Where did my level-
diameter, so
Where did my level 2 spells just go? Oh, I see. Duh. Okay, I guess I'll hit the ghouls then.
All right.
Just roll damage.
Is that a saving throw for them?
Yeah.
What's the DC?
Constitution. 11, I guess. 11 seems awfully low.
Well, it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your
Yeah, it's
intelligence
definitely more.
modifier.
Okay, so it's 14.
All right, 14. They would not make it. Go ahead and just roll the damage in the chat.
Awesome.
All right. That probably managed to kill 2 of them. As a number of them are very clearly wounded and kind of staggered from the magical explosion, but they're mostly still coming right at you. So you're going to do anything else with your turn?
My turret is an action. Nah, that'll be it then.
All right.
I'll run backwards a few steps.
All right. Zerth,
How far away are they?
40 feet.
Well, that's not gonna work for that one. So irritated and more pissed off than anything, he's just gonna yell, just to himself, "Oh, flaming goddess of hate and rage! If I make it out of this, we're gonna have some chats." As he casts fireball into this group.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
Damage.
Group of ghouls that's coming towards you.
Yeah. In the chat.
Yep. Should be 8d6. All right. So that'd be probably 3 of them.
The ghouls are beefy, unlike
Oh, yeah.
every other one.
They've got plenty of HP. They seem to be very, very hardy, especially in this region.
Ah,
And then I'm just gonna start backing up
All right.
with my amazing 25 feet of speed. So fast. Like lightning.
All right. So the zombies, they're going to move a little bit slower, but they're going to run forward as fast as they can. And they would be at 60 feet from you, Zerth. So be about 90 feet from the rest of you. Noon. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so what group is the furthest away?
Furthest away is going to be the skeletons right now.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at them because it has
Alright.
120 feet.
Go ahead and roll damage. All right, that'd be enough to probably get at least 3 of them.
Alright.
Actually, we'll go for 5. So that leaves 157 left.
Take down those numbers.
Mm-hmm. All right, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No. I think I'm okay.
All right. Dusty,
oh boy.
your turn.
Well, which ones are closest to me?
The ghouls are right now. They're
Sweet.
about 60 feet away from you.
He nods and produces his flask.
All right.
Nothing better for this situation. Please help us. Please help. And he uncorks pudding.
All right. Ta-da. Hmm. All right, so
And
green
he
slime
will
time.
s-
Or sorry, gelatinous cube.
Big gelatinous cube time. And he'll say, "Eat any undead you want, except for that one." And he points to Gaster.
All right. The gelatinous
Maybe
cube
give him
plops down
some-
on the ground. What's the range on that?
I think it's next to me.
All right, right next to you. And it is immediately its turn. Unless you want to do something else on your turn.
I think using an item takes most of my turn.
That would take your action, so you still have your
Then-
movement.
Well,
when I
it
think
is-
of you uncorking pudding, it reminds me of like James's sweeping bell. Like it just immediately tries to absorb you. You're like, get off of me!
no, it obeys me. Curse you.
No, them, not me.
Perhaps if we foster a bad relationship.
So.
I guess he's going to run over to stay with the group. Don't want to
Alright.
get separated in a horde. Don't want to get separated.
It is the gelatinous cube's turn. And it is going to go towards them at 30 feet per round. And that's it. As
Thumbs
it
up.
kind of splorches over the sand. It is Gaster's turn.
Thumbs up.
Do you have
Keep
direct
bringing
control over it? Or is it going to attack on its own?
It attacks on its own. I can
No,
give it commands.
It's Suinin.
Am I going? My mic? Yeah. I have control over it, or I can have it just do whatever. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it go over to Zerth and stand in front of him, so that any undead that get too close to him, he has an immediate line of defense.
All right. As Gaster kind of whistles in the wind, basically clacking his way over just in front of Zerth and holding his spear in a defensive stance.
Anything that gets close enough, he'll strike at.
All right.
Hold that.
It's the skeleton's turn. They are going to run forward to just behind the ghouls, and they're all moving together just as kind of a horde. The turn happens simultaneously, and they're all going to. Actually, only about half of them have short bows, so that's around 80 short bow attacks. We'll assume about half of them just fail, and we'll actually roll to attack with 40.
So the ones in the back row are going to hit the ones in front of them, right?
That's a great question. That's... All right, so
He has a spear. Unfortunately, he does not have a blaster. But remember, Gaster is the original.
Mm-hmm. So we've got one critical hit.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just going to discard anything below 15.
Do you want a crit card?
Yes, please.
From the enemy?
Yes.
What kind of attack?
Ranged attack, piercing.
Something slipped. Triple damage, and your AC is reduced by 1d6 for 1d6 rounds.
Ooh.
All right, so that ends up actually for 2 hits to all of you.
All of us.
Yep.
Oh, it's a volley, is it?
Pretty much. And the gelatinous cube takes like 5 hits.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gee. Well, these things aren't. Well, I've been feeding mine well. Hopefully, he's a little bulkier than others.
It's true.
Gelatinous cubes are very beefy.
Hmm.
Mixed up for the fact that they have no dexterity or AC.
All right, so that's 17 points of piercing damage. The crit is going to go towards. That'd probably go towards Yark.
Oh no!
All right, so Yark,
Can I
that
use
is
missile deflection?
that is 24 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and your AC is reduced by 3 for 5 rounds.
I was going to ask, could I use missile deflection on any of this? Could I use missile
I think you can use it on yourself or an adjacent ally, but only once per round as a reaction.
You said how much damage?
24.
Hey, Yark, where were you?
Actually, that would be 31 total.
Okay.
Hey, Yark, were you next to me? I went to rejoin the mass.
I have no idea. You don't have a
It's
grid?
hard to tell without a map. It's hard to tell.
I wouldn't Yark. Well, Yark was holding Zerth's tail, but I think that went when Zerth just kind of went up for no BS towards this group.
Hmm.
So,
I know
what's your
Zerth
call,
would be
Dova?
behind him.
You'd be able to if you want.
Yay, Yark! I'm going to try to save you.
Oh, thank goodness.
Let's see, missile deflection. I'm pretty good at that. Let's see. Dexterity score plus monk level plus a d10. So reduce that by 13 damage. Reduce.
All right.
Now I gotta do math.
So just add 13 HP to yourself.
Yep. Oh, I mean, we're doing wounds, remember?
Hmm. All right. So minus 13 from your wounds.
Exactly. Math.
Oh, that's true.
I got it.
Very true. I forgot numbers. All right. Blue is going to continue being dead. Who's carrying Blue, by the way?
I am.
All right.
I think I'm the only one strong enough to carry him.
So either your speed is halved, or your AC is going to be -2 since you couldn't carry the shield.
I
You can
think
choose.
his speed would be half because he would have him kind of strapped to his back.
All right. So it's the ghouls' turn. And they are going to charge up basically right on top of you, Zerth. They've got about 60 feet of movement. And they can make it really pretty much up to all of you guys.
Uh-oh.
They are very fast. But they're due to the charge, they really can't attack at all.
Have a single skeleton.
Yeah, don't worry. You're fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
Relax, this one skeleton is way better than all of them.
Aster's just gonna get riggedy wrecked.
Just gonna get instantly killed.
Well, you'll have lots of spare parts.
Oh, I forgot. Start of the round. Cobalt, go ahead. Or sorry, Yark. Go ahead and give me a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
What is this for?
Good question. But I like being included. It's that number.
All right. Zeno. The ghouls are basically upon you.
Well, Sinnoh's gonna back away a bit. Put at least some more distance between him and them.
All right.
And fire.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack. All right, go ahead and roll damage. All right. You definitely managed to kill another one of them. The arrow puncturing right into one of its eye sockets and punching out the back of its skull. What's your... Actually, I don't think any of you guys would have a passive perception high enough to notice.
Excellent.
Not so excellent.
Yark,
Yes, hello.
your turn.
As my action, I'm gonna set down my flamethrower turret,
All right.
and I'm just gonna say, "Go get him!" And I'm gonna point at the horde of everything,
Mm.
and I'm gonna run back,
All right.
and it's gonna shoot a flamethrower.
Very cool.
You just want to put damage in the thing?
Yep. Go ahead and just does it immediately get to go?
Yeah, or it
Alright.
goes on my bonus action.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage. All right. What's the range on the fire?
Hold on, I got it right here. 15-foot cone,
15-foot cone. All right.
and it can move
Uh,
up to 15 feet if it needs to.
You'd manage to probably burn to a crisp at least 2 of the ghouls as they
Nice.
charge forward into you. They're not really doing much in the way of tactics or, evasive maneuvering.
And
The
I
ghouls
still,
are doing most of that, but the rest of them are just kind of shambling forward at a kind of a slow sprint.
Hey guys, what do you want to bet? There's another spell shard around here.
a Yark as he's running. Probably.
Mass attacks, should we roll just to check for crits at least?
Yeah.
Sorry I couldn't stop your arrow all the way. Sorry I couldn't stop you.
All right, so, Yark, that's the end of your turn. Then it is Zer's turn. The ghouls are basically right on you.
Is it ghouls
They're in
and
melee range.
and the zombies, or just the ghouls?
The ghouls and some of the hand-to-hand skeletons would be in range by this point.
Hmm. Awesome. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna scream at them and cast Turn Undead.
All right.
Ooh.
You mean destroy undead?
Well, it's Destroy Undead now.
Oh, Gaster.
What's the range on it?
I know. I give Inun the saddest look of, you know what? This skeleton may not have been that bad. It's each undead that you can see or hear within 30 feet of me must make a Wisdom saving throw.
Well, I think it's
Alright.
that you can see or that can hear you.
No, it's within 30 feet. And
Yeah, within 30 feet that can see
Yeah.
or hear you.
Yeah. So that's why I screamed.
what's the DC?
My spell DC is a DC of spells. Yes,
I'm gonna guess that it's probably 14.
it is 14.
I'm gonna
So
use
good.
I'm gonna use my reaction to tell Gaster to look away and cover his ear hole.
I mean, he doesn't have
I don't
eyes.
know if you'd know. I don't know if you'd see what would happen.
I also don't think, like, have you seen him do this before?
I don't think he's ever done this before.
Yeah.
But
He's done it
Yes.
a few
Knows to protect
times.
his boy.
destroy undead? I don't believe so.
Well,
I
destroy undead is just
I did it with the Ghost Soldiers.
Oh.
Destroy undead and turn undead are the same thing. It's just it destroys the turned undead if they're low enough level.
Yeah,
What's the CR that you can destroy?
half or lower. At level 5 anyway. It goes up at level 8.
All right, so only the roll pretty bad. The skeletons did at least. Do the if they're below that CR level, do they get to make a saving throw, or is it just gone?
If they failed, they automatically die.
All right. So, a handful of the ghasts, or sorry, ghasts, no, ghouls, sorry, are indeed turned and kind of screech and start sprinting away as their skin begins to burn and crackle from the holy rage that burns out from your holy symbol. And a number of the skeletons that are actually within range do, in fact, turn into this kind of sparkly ash. You actually managed to get about 17 of them with that.
Nice.
Hot damn!
But the zombies are... a handful would be in range. So you'd manage to get probably like 3 of them.
What good value. What good.
That was pretty good. I believe that's going to be your turn unless you want to move.
I have some movement and still a bonus action.
Alright.
How far away is Yark?
Yark would probably be about 30 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna start moving away and cast Healing Word on Yark.
Technically, Turn Undead is not a spell, so go ahead. It's a class ability. So, alright, as Yark, you heal just a little bit.
That
Awesome.
mighty one. It's something.
It's your modifier that matters the most. It's the thought that counts.
Yep.
Alright,
Do
so...
a wisdom save for Gaster.
yeah, with advantage. Versus 14.
On.
Fortunately, that's it.
Bye, Gaster.
As he's hit with the wave of anti-necrotic energy.
I give Gaster a nod of approval. Like
You
like
were
not.
okay.
He was okay.
This is way too calm music for this.
You need to take out one of the enemies with this spear.
Yeah, I'd say he would have taken out one of the skeletons with the spear.
Hey.
He actually threw it as a last act in his life.
He didn't.
Two
He
third
didn't
level.
feel so good.
That's 2 third level spell slots to kill one skeleton.
He technically killed a party member.
Where is my playlist? That's same. All right, so it's the zombies' turn, and they're going to all continue to charge forward. And at this point, they would have caught up to you, Zerth.
That makes sense.
Enun, you feel an immense wave of loss for Gaster.
But like Frosty the Snowman, he is not gone forever.
I mean,
Only
he's a pile
temporarily.
of ash.
So was Frosty the Snowman in a way. Wet ash.
So, Frosty the
You're not
Snowman's
wrong.
hat imbued the snow with a foul mimicry of life.
Of course.
Yeah.
Technically, yes, actually.
Frosty the Bone Man.
Frosty was just ice necromancy.
Alright, well, I'm gonna
Dova,
Try
do
to
we
help
get...
out Zerth, and I'm gonna use Scorching Ray at 4th level to try holding back the horde coming towards him.
All right.
Hey, Dova,
Go ahead and
can
roll
we
damage.
I want to
Do we-
check for crit. Nope, that's a bad one.
Yark, what are you saying?
Can we have a magic top hat of necromancy?
Not if you ask for it like that.
Dova
need
the
to ask.
Magnificent.
You
May
need
we
to
please?
ask for it for Christmas.
Oh,
it's
good
called
idea.
A,
The
it's
winter
called
day.
a skull cap
Hey.
of reanimation.
And Yark says, "Hey, Dusty, Christmas is coming up."
I need to find out exactly what Christmas is in universe. By the way, this barrage seems to be a lot less effective than the rest. Only managing to kill one of the ghouls and 3 of the zombies. All right.
Fortunately, my turn feels
Sorry.
bonus action is unused.
There you go. Dusty, what do you want to do? Dusty?
Oh boy. Now, which assholes are the ones with the arrows?
The skeletons. There's
Great.
about 70 or 80 of them currently knocking another arrow.
Which way is Pudding going? Which way is...
Pudding's going towards the oncoming horde.
Zombies or skeletons?
They're kind of intermixed.
Fair enough. I guess. Yark, are you okay?
It's fine, okay.
Will you live without me next to you?
Maybe.
Do you have healing potions?
I have a shield spell. That's it.
I'm going to go kick butt.
Do it.
Okay. Good
The
luck.
The less there are, the less they can hurt other people, including me.
Right. He's going to fly over to the skeletons then.
All right. I'm guessing you're going to attack.
Absolutely, he's going to attack.
Go ahead and roll damage for your various attacks. So you would have your action and bonus action left.
Yes. Do you think I should punch the skeletons or try my spear?
It's up to you.
I mean, there's not a lot to stab on a skeleton, so I'm going to punch.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
You brittle bone bastards.
All right. As you manage to shatter quite a few of them. And don't roll damage on them because I'm not using them as a.
Alright, just roll
Roll
it
it
in there then. Okay. And here comes the second first. And here comes the second. And here comes the second.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage. Very nice. As you actually shatter 2 of them.
And the third first. And the third.
All right. Very nice. And a third just completely separates and falls down into the sands.
Huh. You know, it's a shame I can't punch more than one. It really, really is.
All right. Is that going to be your turn?
That's gonna be his turn.
All right.
As he slowly
Is
starts to
the-
realize, you know, this might take a while.
As the gelatinous cube continues to ooze forward and actually makes contact with a handful of skeletons. trapping and immediately dissolving 2 of them.
Thumbs
Bringing the number of skeletons down to a minimalist 135. Speaking of which, it is their turn. So that's going to be about 8 attacks coming to you, Dusty,
Oh boy.
as they very swiftly surround you in their kind of the writhing horde.
Hey, on the bright side, you can only be surrounded by a maximum of 8.
Exactly. Going by rules, at least. If I were an asshole, that would be
18.
16. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 1, 2, 3 hits.
They are rolling very well.
They are. Oofta. That was 2 less than max damage on all 3 of those attacks.
Hmm.
All right.
This place sucks. I need AoE.
And now it's time for the bows.
Oh no, not the bows.
All right, we're just gonna
You just try and shoot in point blank, Archer. You just try and
let's
shoot.
see. That seems about right.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking...
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 3 critical hits.
Dova, how many dice did you just throw?
Seriously?
Quite a few.
Did you throw a dice for every skeleton? Did you?
I might have. Well, there's 130 skeletons, 80 of which have bows and arrows. I don't think that was 80. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was only half of them, so
That was
Alright, well,
40 dice.
it
That
was
was
only about 45.
Hey, Nova.
Yeah?
Can I cast shield and reduce the amount of hits I take?
Absolutely.
Alright, cool, I do that.
Doing that, you'd probably reduce the amount of hits just completely, so you wouldn't take any.
Awesome, thank goodness.
And the rest of you, 1, 2, 3, about half of them are over 15. Plus 4, which is their modifier, would be a 19. So I believe that is above all of your ACs except for Zerth. What's your AC, Zerth?
It's 19. For
19,
now.
so everything 15 above would hit.
Can I shield as well?
Yeah. What would your AC become?
Not helpful.
Still, I need to know. Yark, what would your AC be then?
Oh, make it 15.
And make it 15?
20. No,
20?
22.
22? Alright, Anun, you're going to take probably 3 hits, since you're being a bit of a target of priority from your fire spells. Dusty, you're going to take 1 as a stray arrow finds its way, and actually 2 of the skeletons fall around you as they're hit by friendly fire.
Yes, just what I wanted.
Yark,
Now
you're
how
not
to
going to be
survive
taking
this.
any. Zerth, you're going to be taking 2 crits.
Oh
Of course.
god.
And Sinnoh, you're going to be taking 2 regular hits. So let us clear it.
Help, our DM's a prick.
Oh yeah.
No, when when you start a new game, you have the difficulty settings. He just chose extreme.
Pretty much.
Dova, are you angry right now?
No.
Are you sure? Are you sure this isn't
Uh,
compensating for something?
Can you simmer down? I'll make another one hit you. Thank you. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Could I please get 2 crit cards? Actually, we'll just go with 1 to speed things up.
All
And
right.
then the other one will just be max damage.
All piercing.
Yep.
All
Pins.
arrows.
The attack pins your foot to the ground. Make a DC 12 strength check to free yourself, taking an additional 1d4 damage with each failed attempt.
All right. Regular damage, I'm guessing?
Yes.
All right. And then go ahead and add... Here, I'll go ahead and add it for you.
Would that strength be on my turn or just in general?
That'd be on your turn.
Okay.
So that would be 25 wounds, and you are currently... your speed is currently 0.
Can there be this many undead without a necromancer?
Oh, this
the
is the
end of their
Mornlands.
turn.
I don't fucking know.
You're the
All right,
dead
it's
man.
it's the ghoul's turn.
Dude, I just summoned my first undead today. I don't know.
So, everybody go ahead and give me a perception check. This is sound-based.
We're still exhausted, aren't we?
So this would be with disadvantage.
My beautiful 16.
Yark, it's disadvantage.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, oh, I looked at Dusty's. I was like, it's not like we could go much lower.
Dusty has advantage from hearing, so...
Oh, it could go lower.
So, Inun, from behind and above you, about, you estimate, more than 50 feet away, you hear this kind of strange thumping, whooshing sound. The sound of a very incredibly tight, focused, whipping wind. Kind of like maybe like the sound of a dust devil. Those things are kind of loud, by the way.
There's a devil behind us.
A dust devil.
There's a thump and a whooshing sound. So the gods have told me.
That doesn't help us. How? Batting off undead.
I don't know.
All right.
Thank you,
so that's about 9 ghouls left. So I'm gonna say about 5 of them go for you, Zerth.
That, you know what? That's understandable. I'm a very likable gator. Having a party over here.
Ooh, that's a 22 to hit.
They're so
That's
gracious.
an 18 to hit. And now they're gonna try to... Well, 2 of them are gonna try to bite you, and the rest is gonna do a claw. All right, that's a crit. That's a miss. And then the last one's a claw.
Dova, please.
What are you doing today, Zerth? Getting crit.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of crits.
I am.
Like, I'm not even surprised anymore.
It's
It's my-
just that
It's just my punching bag right now.
I am. It's because I don't have any cigars right now.
That's true.
No, you know what? This is
Jones
Dova.
and
Fun for him. He
Oh,
does
don't
not
worry, it
want-
gets worse.
He wants to end the session now.
gets
He's got
worse.
college and important tests to do. He can't keep
Yeah,
doing this
exactly.
shit. Are you kidding me?
All right, you know how much of a time waste you guys are. Oh, by the way, Zerth, you're paralyzed.
Oh,
Thank you, Nova.
amazing. Thank you, Nova. Thanks, Nova.
You know, we can just
All right.
leave.
As Zerth is beginning to be swarmed by ghouls. Sinnoh, hi, how are you? It's your turn.
Hi, how are you?
Okay,
Hi, how are
I am going to try something so crazy it just might work.
Okay.
Run away.
I'm going to pull off my bear cloak and throw it at a mystical birdcage that keeps following us around. You know, covering up the bird inside.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go to
I mean,
sleep?
It's dark in here now.
Okay, great.
It's an owl, so
Nova, those aren't
No,
bird
mm,
here
laws.
much.
Oh, it's dark. Time to sleep.
Time to be awake, more like.
Lizard.
Sinnoh's gonna keep moving backwards, trying to keep some space between him and this horde, and just shoot again. About all he can do.
All right. Ooh, very nice. Go ahead and roll damage. You actually manage a through and through on 2 of the ghouls that are currently chomping away at Zerth.
Amazing.
Very nice shot.
I did something! I'm gonna run out of arrows before this is done.
I can't punch through more than one skeleton at a
Whoops.
time, it seems.
There we go. Yerk.
I'm gonna command my flamethrower to do flamethrower things.
All
but
right.
in a direction that's not toward my allies.
Well, with no map, that's hard to distinguish, but sure.
Yeah, I know.
Lazy bird.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. Did I click it? I clicked it twice.
All right. As a cone of fire just erupts into the horde, which is about to overrun you guys. You manage to get one of the ghouls. At this point, the zombies would be in range, so you'd get about 5 of them. And then 4 of the skeletons.
Are any of them attacking the turret?
They seem to be going for it.
Alright.
But at the moment, none of them are currently attacking it.
It can be broken. I forget how much HP it has. Let's see. 20.
All right.
Do you think that would go down in one turn? It doesn't have much. It actually has 18 AC. That's a lot. I think I'll survive a turn. I guess I'll just throw a firebolt. None of them are surrounding me, right?
Not at the moment, but they are heading your way.
Alright, cool. I'll firebolt in the zombie direction.
All right. Go ahead and roll to hit.
In the chat
And
box,
then,
right?
Yep.
And then damage.
Very nice. As you thoroughly roast and kill one of them.
And I continue to move backwards.
And you what?
Continue to move backwards.
All right.
Really far away.
I mean, firebolt is a long range.
No,
like the
your
microphone.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my microphone was turned.
He's LARPing.
Are you guys good?
All right.
No, we
Zerth.
can't hear you.
So I need to check if you can actually.
My best over here.
All right, you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. So go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. All right, you are unparalyzed. For the piercing shot, does it say he can attempt the strength saving throw at the end of his turn or at the start of his turn?
It doesn't matter.
All right, you can go ahead and make that strength saving throw right now, or the strength check.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
the same
strength.
modifier.
It's a strength check.
All right. Fortunately, you would not be able to pull away, and you take a 1d4 slashing damage. It'd be one point of slashing damage as the arrow is kind of wrenched around on your foot. It seems that something about the arrow's design is specifically designed to get a good lock through sand, and it seems that quite a bit of the arrow actually went through your foot. But you're no longer paralyzed.
Yay!
All right, it's the zombie's turn. At this point, they'd probably arrive towards Dusty as well as Zerth. So I think there's room for 4 more around Zerth, and 4 around Dusty, as the skeletons have been hit quite a bit.
Bring it on.
as they're going to try to
Just
slam you with
two?
their fists. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, that's a
They're all
19.
crit.
I'd like to
And that's a
dispute your
19.
claim. I'd like to
Yeah?
Yes, because I was surrounded previously and only 2 of the skeletons died from friendly fire.
There was one of them who died from oh yeah, the 2 spots were filled by zombies. I did say 2 of them would be around you, right?
You said 4 initially.
4? My bad. That was 4 around Zerth. And then about 5 of them would charge forward and try to get the turret.
They can smell the cleric.
AC is 18 on the turret.
Yep.
Miss. Miss. I think that's in the chat box. Yeah, miss. Hit. And that's barely a hit.
It has 20 HP.
All right, so turret takes. That'd be 13 HP worth of bludgeoning damage.
Question, do any of them run through the cube?
A handful of them actually would.
Awesome, because
So-
that thing is hard to see and good. Good. Finally, its feature. Finally.
All right, so the 1, 2, 3. Hold on, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 hits on Zerth and 1 hit on Dusty. Also, one of them would actually make it up all the way to Sinnoh.
Oh,
And that is a 13 to hit, which would miss. Alright, so 3 plus 4. So that is 7 points of bludgeoning damage to you, Zerth, in total, which is already should be added.
Did
How
I
are they
take
getting
that
to
1
me?
damage from the arrow?
What?
Didn't I take 1 damage from that arrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually at 27.
How far away are you from them all, Sinnoh?
I've been backing up to keep about 40 feet away from them as they get closer.
Fair enough. One's a handful are charging out of the pack towards you, though.
Okay.
They seem to be just focusing on getting close to you. They don't seem to be able to actually attack yet. And I'm assuming Inun, you'd also be backing away.
Yes.
All right.
Seems to probably be a good idea at this point.
All right. The zombies don't seem to be able to keep up with your full movement speed. Thankfully. All right.
And I am going to do... another level 3 Scorching Ray.
All right.
At, whatever's closest at this point. I guess whatever is getting dangerously close to allies, I'll go for those groups.
Everything is.
I'm gonna interpolate
you-
what's worse.
Inun, you would notice, just kind of glancing back at the kind of the remains of the pack as it's been thinned out. A lot of them are getting back up.
Oh man.
Didn't you say something about a big stone something? When we first started some stone structure, or no?
That's kind of what it looked like from a distance, but as you got closer, you would notice that, or you noticed that it was a undead swarm.
didn't you
okay.
say something about a dust devil? Do those have any relation with undead?
I'm talking about like a tornado.
Dova,
You know what a
how do-
dust devil is, right?
Dova, how
No.
do dust devils feel about dust demons?
All right, that's it. That's it. It's gonna be a real demon now.
That wasn't bad.
Well, that's not bad at all. You managed to kill quite a few of them swarming around Zerth, actually. There's only a handful of the ghouls still upright and currently fighting against you guys.
Was for you, Gaster.
The soulless automaton that is Gaster's like locomotion smiles at you.
Can I just have like a skeleton like smile at me from the sky? All Happy Gilmore style.
Like Lion King.
No, it's Blue DeSoto and Gaster.
Ugh.
For all the ones who've come before us.
Oh, what is it? It's
And then Zert's up there for some reason, and then Blue looks confused and pushes him back down.
it's Chubbs the alligator and Abraham Lincoln, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I should have named myself Chubbs.
All right, so
All right, that's
it's gonna be an end of your turn. All right, Dusty, what's going on,
Oh,
bud?
boy.
You're completely surrounded.
Well-
Everything the light touches in this land sucks.
Completely surrounded, you say? I'm going to take the dodge bonus action and jump straight up into the air.
All right. You mean disengage or dodge?
Dodge.
All right, they're all
I
going to
need my
attack. You.
action.
How far are you jumping in the air?
Oh, he's flying. Oh, he's
Yeah, they're all 6 of them around you are going to attack.
Wait, you can dodge as a bonus action, but you can't disengage.
I don't think so.
You can I
God,
believe you
I-
have disengage as a key, like a key point action thing.
Oh, is it? Then absolutely yes, please.
I believe. I'm not sure. I know you can definitely dodge as an action. You can also disengage as an action.
Oh, I can dodge as a bonus action if I spend a key point.
All right. Would you like to do that?
I'm gonna look at this for a second because disengage is much safer.
Mm-hmm.
Abilities.
So you can do Step of the Wind.
Oh yeah. Step of the wind. Disengage and just jump up.
All right. As you leap upwards, I'd say you probably... I don't remember how jump distance is calculated, but you have wings, so you could pretty much make it as high as you want, as long as it's within your normal movement range.
I'll go 40 feet. I'll go 40.
All right, as you just rocket up in the air, your wings creating quite a bit of dust and distracting the zombies and skeletons trying to claw at you and attack you.
I'm Dusty the Bat.
You're very dusty.
You can take me in my natural environment.
All right, you have your action left.
I do. And now I'm going to take out a spell tab of Fireball.
All right.
I've been sitting on this thing for ages.
Is it Fireball or Firebolt?
Fireball.
All right.
And nobody wanted to give it to me initially because it was too dangerous.
All
But
right,
who's
so,
laughing now?
go ahead and roll 8d6.
I'm very disappointed with this
All right.
Fireball.
Where are you aiming? Are you aiming straight down?
He was aiming at the archers.
All right. As you fire out towards the archers, you manage to kill quite a good number. It's hard to tell from here, but it's definitely in the double digits.
Yes! Yes. If only I had another one. If only.
All right. So,
If only I
Uh,
could empty my backpack.
mm, It is the gelatinous cube's turn, and it is going just to continue going at it. And it's going to engulf 2 more of the melee skeletons and 1 more of the zombies.
I just removed the fireball spell tab from my list. It was
All right.
glorious. And thank you.
So the skeletons have a very, very juicy target.
Dusty looks down. Don't you
Well,
do it.
conservatively, there's about 60 left. And we'll say about half of them are just automatically going to miss.
Don't you do it.
So that would be like 30 d20.
Can 30 even be around the gelatinous cube without pushing each other into it?
Gelatinous cube isn't that big. Also, there's a lot of them. All right, I think that's more than 30, but I can just stop at 30.
Duh.
So that's almost exactly 30. All right, so that is. I think about half of these are going to go for you. And the rest of them are going to kind of take pot shots, 1 each at the rest of the group. So 2. So that's a lot of crits. Holy shit.
Dova, stop.
Well, it can't be helped. Do you see how many dice he's bullshitting? Do you see how many dice?
These are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can ignore everything past that. About half of them. So yeah, that's 3 crits to you. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish hits for everyone else.
Dova, you are asking for influence.
Oh yeah. So that's 1, 2 hits and 3 crits on you, Dusty. I'm guessing you're gonna try to use your deflect missiles.
I can try.
All right. So short bow. I'm just gonna clear the counter real quick. All right, so you can reduce this damage by 17. For simplicity's sake, we're gonna go 1 actual crit card, and the other 2 crits are just going to be max damage.
Good grief.
So go
Dova,
ahead and add.
we're level 5.
Yeah.
How much health do you think we have?
I don't know.
To
Yeah,
be
like
fair,
100.
he gave us the opportunity to run away.
Yes.
I
and then
tried to.
yes, we all agreed that was a good idea, and then he asked for initiative. Anyway.
And everyone started attacking.
Well, we could have just gone away before Zerth went and got and incited them, you know?
Zer is completely tired of this bullshit place and its magical Willy Wonka rules.
Oh, I know you're playing your character. That's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, don't blame Dova because the party made a bad choice. No, you can't.
I have made a choice, and I am living with that choice, and it is a choice that Zerth would have made, especially.
All right, so
really.
What type of
Can I
damage?
please? Piercing.
All fun and games. Roll a D100, please, Dova.
Absolutely, sir.
On a 2 or less, you are blinded in one eye.
2 or less. That's a 46, so I'm guessing no.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
It was interesting.
All right. So that is 16 damage. I think that's going to put you under.
Yeah, time to drop. If the 17 doesn't reduce it.
Oh, that would reduce it.
Don't forget we need to end soon, Dova.
Yep.
Wow, did I actually just push away every arrow?
You managed to push away 2 of the crits. But there are going to be 2 more hits, as well as this right here. So that's 7 right there. Oh, that's short sword, but it's the same amount of damage. So, and it didn't actually apply to you. So that would be. And these are the two normal hits. And that will put you under. That's a max damage roll.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, so that'd be 1 fail, as you are filled with lots of little arrows, super crappy arrows. So top of the round / bottom of the round.
Well, thank you everyone for joining.
As from behind you, Inun, that sound of a whirling, whipping wind amplifies as it gets closer and closer. Something traveling at quite a large speed. When,
A large speed.
very high rate of velocity.
Very voluminous.
It's going
speed.
very quickly.
A very voluminous speed.
Velocitous.
Velocitosity.
Velocitosity. As suddenly from overhead, the sound kind of splits. It's obviously at least 2 objects. You whip your head around and you see a very familiar and kind of disconcerting shape. Going back to the assault, the bombardment of Nathir, and the invasion by these numerous flying craft. They look somewhat like a kind of a maybe a canal boat, except these elemental winds whip around it and propel it through the air. You've also noticed that some of the sand in the sandstorm has kind of calmed down, and the sand is just kind of floating in the air aimlessly. Whipping your head around again, you see the second craft is whipped overhead, and with a humanoid figure clambering underneath of it, snatches the back of Dusty's shirt and his kind of leather harness, and is very rapidly hauling him up into the boat where a handful of other humanoid figures are currently seated, and reach over and grab him and haul him in.
How low did they get to the ground to get him?
They get him just as he starts to fall, so about 30 feet above the horde.
So 30 feet from me?
They'd be at the closest about 20 feet. They whip right over your head.
I want to miss you step into the boat.
Give me an Arcana check. This is going to be a very fast reaction. Also, it's not your turn. Yeah. Actually, yeah. So no Arcana check because it's not your turn.
Damn it.
Yeah,
That would have been awesome.
The other sound, throwing sand in a little sandstorm of itself, slams to the ground just to the side of you, kind of right in the midst of you, just in front of the horde. And out of it clamber a handful of fairly heavily armed soldiers of some sort. Going by what you remember of these guys, you think you remember that they were undead.
From this airship?
From this airship.
Oh, well, that can't help. That grabbed Dusty.
Yerk's gonna drop to his knees and said, "What is going on?"
The
Same airship. God damn it.
as the soldiers go to work, pushing the horde back and getting you guys some breathing room, the figure who looked like he was in control of the little detachment steps off with a very calm, collected demeanor. His hands kind of held right behind his back, and behind like a completely faceless mask, aside from two small dots where the eyes would be. This says very calmly, and a clearly magically augmented telepathic voice to all of you. He says, "If I were wise, I would come with me if you wish to live. It is your choice." As he waits for a response.
I'm pretty sure I understand what you said, given the words that you used. You know what I was gonna say? But I don't know, I think we might, and then his turret explodes in the distance. And then York says,
Sentry
yeah,
down.
yeah, no, we should probably go with you then.
Zerf's gonna yell, "Get on the ship!" As he'll hold the line to make sure everybody gets on the ship before he gets on it.
All right. The detachment keeps the horde off of you, pushing them back with a selection of just pure brute force, just these kicks, these savage blows with maces and flails. And you definitely recognize that pretty much all of these soldiers are undead, aside from the commander.
It's not a female dragonborn, is it?
It's not.
I was just about to make that freaking joke. I was thinking of a few ways how to say that. I'm gonna look at the commander and go, fellow necromancer, huh?
As he steps onto the vessel, motioning for his detachment to come aboard, the vessel starts to push off, and the detachment actually just grabs onto the side as it lifts away and starts to climb in with this very clearly still, like the stillness of action that betrays their undeath. He kind of looks to you and says, "Unfortunately, their true master is not myself. I merely control them and keep their more base wills at bay."
That is. Oh well. Well trained.
The winged one is your friend, yes?
Yes. What
My
happened to him?
son.
Are we missing any?
As I'm gonna look over, breathing heavily, because I still got blue on my back. It's like, well, there's his pet, but I don't think you want I don't know how you feel about a goo on your ship.
He kind of looks overboard, says, "I believe it will be fine for a little while. We can cover it."
He does like that goo thing.
Mhm.
And
As
I'm gonna hold out.
the vessel kind of rocks and rumbles inside the windstorm. The combatants holding on very tightly. As you continue on upwards through the clouds and the sleet, or so like the whipping, whirling sands.
You said that some of them were holding on from the outside?
Yeah.
Were there like 3 of them where their arms just rotted off, and as soon as it took off, they just fell?
No, actually. Despite these being clearly undead soldiers, they are very well preserved and in pristine shape.
A level 6 necromancer.
I better freaking be at the end of this. I'm gonna start taking some notes from these guys.
He waits a little while until the air calms down and it's a fairly quiet going. And he says,
That was a timed battle.
"I must warn you, you will be here at the behest of my master. And any belligerency will be treated with immediate expulsion. We will give you a ride to the ground, a safe ride to the ground, but nothing more.
Very kind.
As long as
And-
we get the hell out of the Mournland,
Yes.
we're all happy about that.
Our destination will be discussed once we are aboard. I assume, given your history, that you know where we are headed. I have been briefed on your previous interactions.
I have an idea.
Wonderful. And it's about at that moment that you break through the clouds, and for the first time in about what feels like months, you see the bright, shining sun. And your eyes just kind of hurt as you adjust to the sudden, intensive light.
It's gonna hiss at it.
But almost just kind of floating serenely in the clouds is that same ominous, foreboding shape of the airship, which completely decimated Nathir. Just serenely floating, as if it were an albatross in flight. That same rippling, almost baleful red halo, just kind of stretching around the whole thing, holding it up in the air. And I think right about here is when we'll end. Dusty, by the way, while you were gone, you were as you were falling, you were scooped aboard one of these elemental sky coaches.
I was briefed.
All right,
It was
cool.
It was a flying gondola, and both the guys were singing beautiful Italian songs.
I'm still dying.
Before we end, Zer's gonna look to the quote-unquote captain and look back at the ship and just kind of look to the captain and say, "You don't happen to have a pack of smokes on you, do you?"
The
Kinda
commander
hoping he'd
looks
say,
at you.
"I
He
am the captain
says,
now."
"I'm sure some of our living arrangements on board have some smokables if you wish to partake."
Perfect.
Some smokables.
Still dying.
Dusty, you would take 2 death saving fails in total. You're at 2 fails, but you are stable. As quite a few bandages are applied, kind of haphazardly, but it's enough.
I
would
can't
cure
believe
wounds,
I
though.
wasted my spell tap in a timed battle.
I mean, you killed a lot of them. That was pretty damn cool. Also, once you guys eventually get your long rest, you would level up.
Fuck.
So be prepared to apply
All
that.
right.
I could have
Everything's
used
everything's
Yeah.
smokable if you're brave enough.
It's true.
You mean I could have leveled up before that battle? Because I did get a
No.
long rest? Because I
No.
it was. I think we just power grinded to the next level.
I can believe it. I can believe
I could.
It reminds me that this
Can
comic
you
where like
dig it?
We took
A
on a
bunch of-
raid.
it reminds me of this comic where a bunch of adventurers are standing in front of a cave and they're like, "All right, time to grind through this cave." And then the nerdy guy's like, "I have a better idea," and he pulls out a stick, like he pulls out one of those plunger things and just pushes it down.
Oh,
And there's like 20 level up symbols above them all at once, and their clothes rip because they get
they're all
muscular.
beefy.
What?
Yeah.
Power grinding with
I don't-
TNT.
Oh.
I have it saved somewhere. I'll show.
Great to have a
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you all so
Oh.
much for joining us for Echoes
was
of
trying to do
Eberron
this thing.
Dungeons and Dragons. That was definitely an intense thing. whatever the hell you want to call that. Dova,
Massacre
you're still
for
an
them.
asshole. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. Because of you guys, I am able to keep bringing you this content. I really could not do it without you guys. Please check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Patreon, Telegram, Twitter, all those good things. Do consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/zgfgaming. And thank you all so much again for joining. I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
This
Yeah.
Good night.
this episode is in memory of Gaster.
Rest in peace.